JetBlue and Spirit say they have mutually agreed to terminate their proposed $3.8 billion merger. This comes after a federal judge rejected the plan earlier this year. Joining us now for more is Oriana Pawlyk. She's an aviation reporter for Politico. Good to have you. So,
thanks for having me.
This is the second proposed merger for Spirit that has failed. I guess everybody's wondering what's next for the company and for JetBlue.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are asking themselves that question right now. Ultimately, what happens with this failed merger that JetBlue obviously inserted itself in last year? Spirit originally wanted to merge with Frontier, as many remember. And now it's a question of, Spirit has some operational challenges going on. JetBlue has some flight reductions it's seeing out of one of its main areas in New York. And so now they're just trying to rectify how they how they move into their own separate businesses and how they, reconcile some of these, if you want to say, pains going forward after this merger has fallen through.
We did a story earlier today, I think 4 o'clock news, about how a bunch of discount airlines popped up after the pandemic, and a ton of them don't exist anymore, right? Because it's hard to make money. Already we've got 80% of the domestic market controlled by just 4 airlines, which I presume is part of the reason why JetBlue and Spirit were looking to sort of gain a little more real estate, right? So what does this mean? The concern was, of course, that if they got together, there would be an increase in prices for customers. So, what does it mean for these two companies if they can't own a larger share of the market?
Sure, right. I mean, I think you heard that from the government's point of view, though, that Spirit is the budget airline here. And if it were to go away and consolidate under another airline, JetBlue, which really isn't a budget airline, whether or not that would hurt consumers. And that was ultimately the crux of the government's fight in court. So with Spirit kind of going away, anytime Spirit does enter a market, by the way, you see some competition with ticket prices, and that the big 4 tend to lower their ticket prices when Spirit's in that market. So consumers or passengers who routinely fly Spirit were the ones that were going to be hurt in this process, and that's what the federal judge ultimately sided with in the decision in court in January.
So does this deter other domestic airlines from considering mergers?
For this administration, I think you're seeing a lot of, a muscular stance from the Biden administration, not just in the airline industry, but also other monopolistic practices. Google is another example of having the tech monopoly right now, and that's something that they're also looking to go after. So whether or not airlines will consolidate, it might be sometime in the near future, but whether or not it'll happen under the Biden administration with that muscular stance is to be determined, and I don't know if they're going to necessarily try again, knowing this, how it went the last time.
Oriana Pawlyk, thank you so much.
Thanks.